I went to add our baby's last name at the courthouse. The clerk said, "You can't, he's already married." I turned to my husband. A woman in a yellow dress behind us said, to me, "I'm 30F, he's 32M. We live in South Philly in a narrow row house with a crooked stoop and a baby who thinks 3 a.m. is social hour. We've been together 5 years, married, I thought, last spring in my aunt's backyard with too many peonies and my uncle mangling Springsteen on acoustic. His name is Matt. He works union at the port. I'm a dental hygienist in Queen Village. We had our daughter in December. We gave her my last name at the hospital because the nurse said we could decide later, and later felt kinder in the fog. In March, I booked a slot at City Hall to add his name, hyphen it, make everyone happy. Small Philly sentence. We stopped at Wawa on Broad for hoagies and a soft pretzel on the way to the courthouse because we're not animals. The municipal services building is beige and buzzing. There's always a line, always a kid eating goldfish, always a sign taped up crooked. We took a number, bounced the stroller, joked about middle names, argued about whether it's hyphen or space. We got called to a window. The clerk, older, efficient, took our forms. "Parent A, Parent B," she said, stamping. She typed, frowned, typed again. "Sir," she said to Matt, voice flattening, "our system shows you're currently married." I did the laugh you do when someone mispronounces your name. "To me," I said. She didn't smile. "To a Miss Rivera, marriage record, Camden County, 2018. No dissolution on file." Before I could say anything, a voice behind us said, "Hi, Matt." We turned. A woman in a yellow dress and low sneakers, hair up, face I didn't recognize. She was holding a manila envelope like a shield. "I got the hearing notice from the docket," she said to him, not me. "I figured this would be the only way to get you to answer." The room tilted. "What is happening?" I asked. He put a hand on the stroller like it was a seatbelt for his brain. "It's not, Sarah, please," he started. "I'm his wife," the woman said to me, voice steady. "We got married at the courthouse in Camden in 2018. We separated in 2020. He promised he filed. He didn't. I've been trying to finalize for 2 years. I'm not here to be cruel," she added, softer. "I just need him to do it." The clerk cleared her throat. "I can't process any legal name change for the child tied to marital records until this is resolved," she said. "Next." She slid our paperwork back like it had caught fire. We walked out into March wind that smelled like hot dog water and wet stone. I sat on a bench and put my hand on the stroller because I needed to hold on to something that wasn't him. "How?" I asked. He started with, "It was stupid," as if there's a smart version. "We did it fast, in love, whatever," he said. We split. I filled out the online forms in 2020 and thought it was done. I swear I thought. Then COVID hit. I never followed up. "Why didn't you tell me you were married?" I asked. My voice didn't crack. I was proud of my voice. He rubbed his jaw and stared at the statue like it would give him a script. "I thought it was over," he said. "By the time we got serious, telling you felt like digging up a dead thing." "You proposed," I said, not loud. "You stood in front of my family and promised." Knowing. He flinched like I'd hit him. "I thought it was done," he said, again, hollow. We walked home in silence. The baby slept like she trusts us. We stopped on 9th for tomatoes because I had to buy something normal or I was going to scream. At home, he showed me his email. 2020 attachments, a draft to a Camden County address never sent. 2021 to one form filed, payment pending. 2022, nothing. He hadn't lied about starting. He'd stopped. I texted the woman in yellow, Sarah, using the number on her envelope. She had case stamped big on the outside like a movie prop. "Can we talk?" I wrote. She said yes. We met Tuesday at Rival Brothers. She ordered tea, I ordered coffee I didn't taste. She told me they were two kids who did a courthouse wedding on Adair. It fizzled. They never merged money. No kids. He's not a monster, she said, which I hate that I appreciated. He's just avoidant. He avoids until the fire alarm goes off. He avoided me into bigamy, I said. She nodded, winced. I'm sorry, she said, and meant it. I've been trying to find him without blowing up his life. She looked down at the picture of my daughter on my lock screen and smiled like a human. She's cute. I asked if she'd be okay with me inviting her to talk at my mom's Sunday dinner. I know how that sounds, but nothing about waiting felt good anymore. She hesitated. If that's what you need, she said. Sunday dinner at my mom's is non-negotiable and loud even at a whisper. Roast pork, greens, my cousins arguing about the Eagles like they personally lost the Super Bowl. My mother sat at the head like a magistrate with good hair. I tapped my glass. I need to say something, I said. We went to add the baby's last name. We couldn't. Matt is legally married to someone else. Gasps. Forks paused. My Aunt Gina said, "You're kidding." I was not. I gestured to Sarah, who stood in the doorway like a witness with a good suit. This is Sarah, I said. She's the wife. She's been trying to finalize since 2020. The room did the collective inhale I've only ever heard when someone says cancer out loud. My mom set her napkin down very carefully. Matthew, she said, scary calm. Sit. Stupid, young, thought I filed, didn't, scared, then embarrassed, then worse, he said. No excuses, just a mess. I looked at my dad. He looked at the baby. He looked at Matt. What are you going to do now? He asked, not unkind. File, Matt said. This week, not a draft. Actually file. Pay. Show up. I'll take whatever consequences. I'll do whatever she needs. He looked at me. I'll do whatever you need. I needed air. I needed receipts. I needed my name back. Updates, update 1 week later, he filed in Camden County in person. He came home with stamped papers and a court date. He CC'd me and Sarah on every email. He put reminders in his phone with 4 alarms like he's mourning his former self. I went to a lawyer. I learned 2 things. 1, my wedding was not legal because he lacked capacity to marry already married. 2, I'm not on the hook for bigamy. He is. I can file for an annulment of the second marriage or wait for his divorce, and then we can marry legally if I want. The word annulment tastes like chalk. We took the baby to the playground and pretended you can just play yourself calm. We told his mom and dad. His mom cried. His dad said, "Son," and put his head in his hands. My mother hugged me at the door and said, "I can help you pack a bag or a lunch. Tell me which." Small USA local sentence, stood in line at Termini Brothers on 8th for cannoli because if I was going to live through this, I was going to do it with ricotta. Update 2-3 weeks later, court happened. No theatrics. The judge looked bored in the way people are when they've seen everything. Irreconcilable differences and failure to prosecute prior filings and finalized. Sarah said thank you to the judge like he did us a personal favor. Outside, she hugged me. You deserved the truth, she said. I'm sorry I was part of you not getting it. I filed for annulment of my wedding. It's clean paperwork. It makes me cry anyway. I told my boss. She hugged me in the sterilization room like we were 2 teenagers at a locker. Matt moved into his brother's place for now. We're not performing marriage until there is one to perform. He takes the baby 3 nights a week. He shows up. He doesn't drink. He brings diapers. He takes pictures. He goes to therapy. He sends me the calendar links without being asked. He looks like a man who set his life on fire and is now carrying water in his hands. Update 3. 2 months later, the annulment came through. I'm not married. I'm a single mom with a very involved co-parent. I cried signing the papers, and then I went to buy a plant that will probably die and felt like a person anyway. We went back to the municipal services building with a different energy. The clerk, a different one, stamped our forms without drama. Our daughter's hyphen is official. It felt like small order inside big chaos. People have opinions. Stay, go, marry him again, run. Everyone thinks they know what they do. I thought I did too. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making soup. I'm paying my PPA tickets. I'm burping a baby at 2 a.m. I'm asking him hard questions in the car because crying at red lights is the Philly way. Small Philly sentence walked through the Italian market and a guy yelled, "Beautiful baby," from behind a pyramid of oranges, and it made my whole week. Update 4. 4 months later, he hasn't missed a therapy session. He hasn't missed a pickup. He handed me a binder with tabs labeled legal, financial, baby, us, and I laughed like a crazy person because tabs, he's making amends without making me manage them. We started couples therapy. I said, "You didn't just forget to file, you forgot to tell the truth." He said, "I was a coward." Our therapist said, "Cowardice is a behavior, not a personality," and I wrote it down and also wanted to throw the tissue box. I went on a walk with Sarah again. We are not friends. We are two women who got the same man at different dumb ages. She's dating someone nice. She asked about the baby, and I showed her a video of our daughter eating blueberries like she was winning a race. We both cried a little. Update 5. 6 months later, he asked if we could get married legally on our anniversary. I said no, I'm not there. The anniversary is not an anniversary. It's a pretty day we had with bad paperwork. He nodded. He didn't push. He said, "Tell me when," and I said, "If." My mom asked me what I want, not what is right or what looks good. I said, "I want to sleep without waking up to the word wife in a stranger's voice." She said, "That will come." I had dinner with friends who let me talk about anything except this until I wanted to. We gossiped about the neighbor who parks like a villain. We took pictures of the baby's teeth. We ate too much pasta, and I went home feeling like a person with a life, not a case study. Update 6. 9 months later, we took the baby to the Please Touch Museum. She touched everything with her whole hand like it was her job. He watched her like he was learning a new language. He is gentler now. He says "I don't know" instead of making up answers. It helps. I told him I might always be a little mad. He said he can live with that if I also laugh at his dumb jokes sometimes. We laughed in the Target parking lot because two seagulls were fighting over a pretzel, and it felt deeply on brand. Sarah texted me a photo of her divorce decree, stamped, and a picture of her in a red dress on a date. "It's done," she wrote. Small USA local sentence. Got stuck on the Walt Whitman in shore traffic, listening to KYW News Radio, and realized I felt okay. Update 7. 1 year later, we did it. Not the wedding. The year. We're not remarried. We're not broken up. We're careful. We live in the same house again, slowly. He moved back in after 9 months because it made sense with the baby and because I wanted to see him make breakfast when no one else was watching. He does. He cleans the coffee pot. He fills the diaper caddy before I ask. He tells me when he messes up small things because that's the only way back to trusting him with big ones. He asked again, softly, about marriage. I said, "Not yet." He said, "Okay." He wears no ring. I wear no ring. We wear the baby in a carrier and go to the park and let her eat grass and tell each other truths we should have told sooner. If you've read this far because you Googled, found out he's still married in the municipal services building bathroom, I'm sorry. Here's what I know. Go to a lawyer before you go to Facebook. Get the file-stamped papers. Drafts are lies with formatting. Invite the right people into the room and keep the wrong ones out. Feed yourself. Sleep if you can. Let other people hold the baby. Don't make decisions in the week of the discovery unless you have to. You'll be a different person in 2 weeks and again in 2 months. People can be cowards and still be worth loving. People can be brave and still be wrong for you. Both can be true. Final small local sentence. 8 water ice on Passyunk, baby sticky, sun low, SEPTA bus sighing by, and for a whole block I didn't think about clerks or stamps or vows, just the cold sweet on my tongue and my kids' laugh exploding like fireworks.